Okay, this past month has been particularly enlightening, to say the least, right? I'm just gonna preface, I think I'm probably gonna go back to monthly uploads instead of bi-weekly or go to monthly uploads instead of bi-weekly uploads, because I can't record and upload and do all this shit in a bi-weekly form. So one month, here we go. Like I said, this past month has been very enlightening. I keep saying week because this last week has been the most confusing of everything, right? A lot of shit has happened. Just to go over it, I'll talk about it in points in a second. I was offered a job as a sous chef at my former restaurant. I worked a full shift on entree for the first time. I don't know, just that's mostly it, honestly, but it just felt like a lot to me, right? So I'm gonna start with the entree thing first, right? I worked a full shift on entree. I didn't do the prep, unfortunately, so I guess most people wouldn't count it as a full shift, but I worked all service, right? And it was on Saturday too, right? But it was a particularly slow Saturday, right? And I feel I don't want to say not in a bad way, but my inexperience sort of caught up to me. I was struggling, right? I was not drowning. I do not want to say I was drowning, but I was struggling for sure. Okay. What I'd say happened was I needed a lot of help. I didn't know how to temp things properly. I didn't know what things did this and what things did that. I was slow, right? So it definitely didn't really help my case. So I felt I didn't want to say felt like shit, but I definitely felt like I needed to learn more, right? I didn't feel defeated. I didn't feel like shit. I felt like I needed to learn more. And I don't think I'll be ready for a proper, Saturday shift in a long time. But on that note, I also feel I feel inexperienced. And that's where I'm going to start talking about the position I turned down, right? I got a position for a sous chef, right? My former chef over at a steakhouse I used to work at called me up and she was like, "Hey, I'm looking for a sous chef. I like you." And I was like, "Damn, why do you want me?" And she was like, "Well, I like the way you work, and I know you, so I think it's a good idea." And honestly, I simmered on this for a little while. She asked me on Wednesday. I thought about it on Thursday. I actually had a small interview with her on Friday, and then on Saturday, I'm very thankful how chill he is, but I asked my chef about it, and he was really chill about it, right? He's not trying to keep me around, or he's not trying to or he didn't write me up or fire me immediately. He just genuinely went up to me and was like, "Okay, it's your decision if you want to do it." He said he didn't know anything about C-Night, so he couldn't really comment on that, but he knows that working with good chefs is a good way to improve. And he wasn't implying anything either. He was just telling me his opinions, which I really asked for. So it gave me a time to think about it, right? I mean, at first I thought I was going to take the job. I really did. But then after my conversation with him, my quick one, it was not even a few minutes, and then my time on entree, I really thought that I would still not change. But at the very end of it, I was like, I can't do this. I'm not experienced enough. To be a sous chef. And it was really weird, right? Because the best way I can explain it are a few ways. I can explain it in two ways, right? I wanted to take the job, but I knew I wasn't ready for it. But the word sous chef sort of appeared in my mind in big golden letters, right? Sous chef. It's what I wanted. It's what I really wanted. And I could have it after only 2 years of being in the industry. But then after my shift on Saturday, I just sort of realized how inexperienced I was. And in the best way that I can put it, I was more sure about not taking the job than I was about taking it a day previously. So yeah, and that's not to say that I'm not upset or I'm not sad or anything like that. Yeah, I'm upset I didn't take the job. Yeah, I'm sad I can't be a chef, but I'm not more upset or sad than I am okay with the decision, right? The best way I can put it is okay. I'm very content with the decision. But I do want to learn. I do want to grow. I fully plan on being on Entree a little more often. I fully plan on, just learning and doing more things a little more often. But we'll also just see where we go from here, right? Because I passed up the opportunity, but the opportunity still appointed itself to me, right? So that's definitely some positive reinforcement in my mind, right? I have someone who's recognizing me as to be good enough to be a sous chef, even though I've only been in the industry for 2 years. So I feel like that's a very good step forward. But yeah, I feel that's just a lot that happened. Like in the past week, there's really nothing else that happened in this month, nothing like genuinely of note. But yeah, just need to learn a little bit more. I need to learn faster. I need to learn better. All the things. All right, now time for the plug. My name is James Franco. I really want to be a chef. I am the kitchen's fiance on everything. I don't have that much, but YouTube, TikTok, Instagram is the kitchen's fiance. Plain board. Please go check all those out. Thank you very much. See y'all next week. Goodbye.